Today we're diving into what 2025 holds for the Spokane real estate market. From market trends, interest rates, and inventory levels, we're going to dive into everything. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Living in Spokane, Washington. If you're new here, my name is Hunter McKay, and I'm your local real estate broker. With over 10 years of industry experience, I'm here to share everything I know, just so you can feel prepared moving to Spokane. Let's dive into it. Let's start with a recap of 2024. If you're looking for a more data-driven recap, then dive into one of my videos that I have linked in the comments below. But right now, what I want to talk about is just my personal experience and the buyers that I worked with at the end of 2024 and what we were seeing on the ground. I think I closed around 50 to 60 transactions last year with me and my team. And the difference between what we were willing to accept in 2023 and what we were willing to accept in 24 was just wildly different. The amount of inventory has gone absolutely through the roof, but it's not really good inventory. It's stuff that we've been used to seeing. It's sellers relisting at still high prices, old and outdated inventory that frankly needs to come down in price. And anytime there's been good stuff that hit the market, it mostly got snatched up. I will say, approaching the election in November, a lot of things slowed down. It really felt like we had a gangbuster spring and summer, and then as we were approaching that September, October, November timeframe, it really felt slower than usual. Both of my parents are real estate brokers and have warned me that anytime it's an election cycle, doesn't matter who's in the White House, things are going to slow down because people hit pause in order to see what direction the country is going to take. I had never experienced that before, and I'd been through a couple of other presidential elections, but I just really felt it this year, and I noticed that a lot of my clients were actively telling me, no, I'm just going to hold off and wait to see what happens. Well, as soon as the election happened, I don't think it really mattered that a lot of people were happy and a lot of people were sad. It wasn't about the success or losses of the election for people. It was that there was finally a direction, and so they were settled and they felt like they could get off the bench and finally go take action. And so from November of 24 really to present, it has been a lot more active. Interest rates have still been really high, and so people's purchasing has been very particular. They've still been looking for exactly what they want, but I will say that there's been a tremendous uptick in the amount of business than there was over the fall of 2024. So let's talk about some nationwide trends that are affecting the Spokane home market right now. Interest rates are still really high, and until they come down, that's going to be really hard for Spokane home buyers. Spokane home buyers are really at their maximum affordability right now. The average income in Spokane is currently below what is necessary to afford the median home price. Traditionally, when that happens, prices will come down in order to meet demand. This happens because sellers want to sell their home, and they eventually give up the bonus equity or ghost equity that they're holding on to in the hopes that someone can afford it. They eventually reduce price, and it hits this equilibrium where the people who are making money and buying and living in that area can afford to buy again. Right now, we're just ahead of that affordability, and so a lot of the people that are buying in Spokane are getting help from family and relatives, or they're buying a lot lower than what they expect in order to compete effectively. Until we see interest rates come down, that will likely mean that prices stay where they're at or likely come down just a little bit. Let's assume that everything stays remotely the same right now. Predictions for 2025 look like this. Interest rates continue being 6 or 7%. The Fed has not indicated that they're going to lower things. We don't really expect people in Spokane to suddenly start making a ton more money. So in that case, unless the home is in really great shape and priced effectively, it's likely to have longer market time. And we're seeing that. In 2021 through 2022, you could sell a home with anything wrong with it. I literally remember I got a call and someone said, hey, I hate to tell you this, but there's poop on the dining room table of ABC 123 Street. And I said, oh gosh, that's really terrible. Are you bringing me an offer? And he said, what do you mean am I bringing you an offer? I'm letting you know there's poop on the dining room table. And I said, I hear you, and that sounds terrible. I'm kind of curious if it's human or dog, if there's a cat, but ultimately I have 13 offers on this property, and the other 13 people who have been through there today did not complete
complain to me about the poop. So the real question I have for you is, are you offer number 14, or are you just calling to let me know that there's fecal matter on the dining room table? And he goes, oh no, we're not writing an offer. I said, great, I'll pick one of the other 13. And it really was that bad. I am not exaggerating even one detail of this story. It was crazy. But now it's the year 2025, and shit's expensive. Eggs are like $37 a dozen. I can't afford to put gas in my car, which is why I got a Tesla. And so most people are not willing to accept shit-infested dining room tables. They want to see a home that is pristinely clean, no deferred maintenance, priced accordingly, and they probably still want you to contribute to their down payment or their closing costs, because they can't afford to buy your home and they'd really like to give you the price that you want, but they're going to need help getting there. So make sure you bring your A game if you're a seller in 2025. It's a lot harder than it used to be. If you're a buyer watching this, you might be thinking, gosh, this is a terrible time to buy. You're wrong. When it's a hard market, it's actually a great time to be a buyer, because a couple of things are pretty certain right now. It's probable that interest rates are going to go down eventually. And so if you can buy right now and refinance later, your payment is never going to be higher than it is today. And so if you can suffer through it right now, it'll improve. 2, your seller is going to be more flexible right now. You can probably get a better home for less money with more credits in a bad market than you can in a good market. So yeah, you have to suffer a little bit to get the good diamond, but it can be totally worth it. I want to stress to everyone that even though this market is not the same one that we experienced during COVID, and everyone, including most other real estate professionals, are going to say it's a harder market for both sellers and buyers, that does not mean that it is devoid of opportunities. Buyers need to be looking into key neighborhoods that are going to grow and have great opportunities for sweat equity that were not available 2 to 3 years ago. Sellers, yes, you have to tighten up your belt and you have to make sure that you're presenting a good product, but you also have inventory that you can go look at and buy now, and someone might give you 60 days to go and find your new home. So everyone has a little bit more room to do the right thing and the thing that works best for them. It just requires a little bit more communication and working together than we were doing in 2021 through 2024. If you're ever looking for more personalized advice, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can email me or shoot me a text. I'd be more than happy to get on a conference call and help you or your family plan their trip to Spokane. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and share the video with your loved ones. Thanks for following, and we'll see you next time.